Welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at Chanel's newest offering. This is a new line from Chanel called Number 1 de Chanel. I don't want to get any of this wrong, you guys, so I'm going to put on my readers and tell you a little bit about it. According to the website, the intelligence of nature is unsurpassable, and it has always influenced the House of Chanel's vision of beauty. The intelligence is also what led to the creation of Number 1 de Chanel, a new generation of eco-responsible formulas featuring skincare, makeup, and fragrance mist. At the heart of this holistic anti-aging line is the unique revitalizing power of red camellia extract. So we all know about green tea. Green tea is camellia. That's where it comes from. So I never heard that red camellia is better than white or pink or any other color. So that's kind of a mystery to me. From the start, various influences have shaped the way Chanel approaches beauty. One was Gabrielle Chanel's holistic vision of no duality between the mind and the senses, no distinction between reason and sensibility, no separation of the body from emotions, nor of a being from its environment. An idea that is now embodied in the Number 1 de Chanel ritual. So most of it is skincare. But to tell you the honest truth, and I may have said this before, I don't want to get my skincare from a cosmetics company. That's just me. They usually add things that aren't needed, like perfume, because they're looking to give you an experience, and people have very strong association with scent. I just didn't want to try it, but I did want to try the foundation and the balm. So this is the box that it comes in. It's très chic, oui. And there's a little embossing of a camellia here, which I happen to just love that logo, and I love camellias. And this is what the bottle looks like. It is frosted. It's very simple, elegant, not a lot going on here, not a lot of words. I'm all for it. Number 1 de Chanel. And I got the color B20, but we'll get into that. First I want to read what they're saying about it. A buildable foundation with a luminous finish, enriched with red camellia oil and moisturizing ingredients. The formula softens skin and helps protect against environmental aggressors. The complexion appears plump and naturally more beautiful. Day after day, skin takes on a youthful glow. The Number 1 de Chanel line seeks to minimize its environmental impact with sustainability developed formulas that contain up to 90% naturally derived ingredients. Each product is housed in environmentally sound packaging for a reduced carbon footprint. Immediately after application, the complexion appears 33% more radiant, with 55% of comfort restored. After 1 month, skin looks smoother. Now let's get into the other product, which is a balm. It comes in a package like this. Again, there's an embossing of the camellia, and the CC right up here, this little flat thing, and it's very chic, something you would keep in your purse for a little blushy blush, a little lippy lip, and there's nothing wrong with that. It kind of reminds me of the Beige Balm in its thickness, its stiffness. It also reminds me a lot of this. This is a Charlotte Tilbury cheek and lip product, as is this. This was a limited edition, but now it is back, I think, full time. I have the color Pillow Talk, and I wore this a lot on my cheeks because it was just one of those colors where you don't know what to do and it's pop, 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 pop. But I didn't find it to be very comfortable on the lip. The formulas are very, very, very similar, so spoiler alert. Now I did a 3-day wear test, and today is my 3rd day. I think this is probably my favorite application today, and it all has to do with what the sunscreen is that is underneath it as far as the sheen is going. But I feel like I have a nice sheen, but not too much of a sheen. Now let's cut away to application, and let's get into it now. So this is a little bit of a thicker formula. And slightly scented, but not as scented as other Chanel's. And I'm just going to do my normal, which is finger application. This is B20, which is usually too light for me. I imagine for formula to formula, things change a little bit. But in the Lumiere Aqua, I find 20 is too light, but 30 is too dark. So I use 30, and I put some of the Lip Blanc into it to lighten it up. And I have definitely had issues with the last foundation release they did. Hi, Lucy. Was kind of orange on me. But this one appears to be much more neutral. Just like when it came out of the pump, there was a little bit of a thickness to it. It doesn't feel thick, but it doesn't have a watery feeling to it, like some of my other foundations. I did my skincare and sunscreen about a half an hour ago, and it's super dry right now, and I feel very dry. So I just want to, since I just did the Charlotte Tilbury, put a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury on so you can see the color of that. So here's the Charlotte Tilbury, and I know it's hard to tell what the color is when it's so shiny, but it's wet. And here is the Chanel number 20. I can't figure out what it is. I probably have to go outside to really figure it out. And of course, this is blended in a little bit, so let's just make it apples to apples. I did step outside to take a look, and it's so interesting that the Charlotte Tilbury actually looks more yellow compared to the Chanel. I'm sure they will change color a little bit as they dry down, as is always the case. But now I want to get out the Lisa Eldridge, because to me, that was super yellow compared to the Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so here's the Lisa Eldridge. Always fascinating and a little maddening. I also want to show you this. I got the color Vital Beige, and this is what it looks like. It's number 3. And there's a thickness, a stiffness to this. I'm going to put some on the cheeks. Just a little. I find, and I think a lot of people find, that these kind of products that are intended for two things tend to be better at one than the other. If it's good on the cheeks, it's probably not going to work for me on the lips. Or if it's good on the lips, it's probably not going to work on the cheeks. And I feel like this is going to be the same outcome as the Pillow Talk, the Charlotte Tilbury, which was, I didn't like it on my lips. It's pretty on the cheeks. Just going to build a little bit more. They don't say it's for the eyes, but I'm just going to do a little bit on the eyes. And now for the lips. I did break into this last night, you guys. If you put just a little bit on, it's not terribly uncomfortable, but it doesn't impart all that much color. And if you put more on, for me, it's way too heavy and uncomfortable. And you put more on, and you get a little color, which I don't mind at all, but it also feels really, really thick. I just don't like that heavy thing on my lip. So this is what we have. What do we think of the skin? I think it looks really, really pretty. I don't think it looks makeup-y at all. And I think it's a pretty decent color, although I felt like the Charlotte Tilbury was a slightly better color for me So this is day one, and of course I'll let you know when I wash my face, is it red, is it irritated from something in here? But before we step into day two, I'm just going to pull you in so you can see what's going on the cheeks. Interestingly, I don't feel compelled to powder like I did yesterday with the Charlotte Tilbury, but now looking, I'm thinking maybe I should. But let's first just take a look at the skin on the cheeks and on the forehead, and I'll move around a little bit and show you what's going on. And let's do a little powder. So there's absolutely no pulling, there's no stiffness, there's no sticking to something that is still wet. Works with powder super nicely. And now I'll move you in again so we can see, have the pores changed? I haven't looked. It looks super, super pretty. I have to say, I feel that this is, it doesn't feel as dewy as the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's strange. When I just looked in the mirror, I'm like, there's plenty of shine. The powder really did mattify it, probably a little bit more, where the Charlotte Tilbury, I noticed after I did my cheeks, a few minutes later, there was a sheen there again, which, you know, doesn't bother me. But this might be a little bit better if I wanted more of a matte look. Not that I'm going to get it right at application, but powdering it, I might be able to get one. And that really kind of changes the look. You guys, it's about 6 hours after I put the foundation on, and I wanted to come back to you because I have a few observations. I usually do not come back because I can't get the light to look good. But I'm giving it a try because there's something I want to point out to you, and I want to tell you what my feelings are right now. So the blush, first of all, that is bye-bye. Bye-bye blush. I did reapply some of the blush. It's a lovely color, but to be expected from a cream, not to last. The foundation, actually, it seems to me it's pretty much the same as it always has been, well, since I put it on. Some rub off from my glasses right here, it always does. And I am still matte. There's just not a shine going on here. Now, for me personally, I like a glowy foundation, but I do know that there are women who have texture or enlarged pores, lines and wrinkles, and they don't like glowy because they feel that it can emphasize those things, and glowy foundation can 100%. I do have lines and wrinkles, but I don't have textured skin and I don't have enlarged pores, so I don't have that issue. But if you're one of the women who prefers something matte, I think you're going to get it with this combined with the By Terry powder. I also wanted to mention that my skin feels a little dry. And I did mention earlier it's been very dry outside lately. Everything is dry. My lips are dry. My throat is dry. I'm surprised my nails haven't broken. So I don't know if this dryness that I'm feeling is a combination of all three. Powder, foundation, dryness. If it's just about the dryness outside. If it has anything to do with the foundation alone, because I do use the By Terry all the time. I'm not sure what it is, but I just wanted to note it. Tomorrow we will come back and we're not going to put on powder, so we're really going to give this a test. But we might do a powder blush, have some fun with it, you know, try different things, and it'll be here just like that. All right, you guys, today is day 2. I did my skincare, my sunscreen, as you can see. I'm quite shiny, but the powder did the trick yesterday. Today I'm going to apply it without powdering, and I think I'm going to do a brush, and I'll speed through the application. So that was one pump, and you know, when you use a brush, a lot goes into the brush, so I'm probably going to need 2 pumps. And there you go. So 2 pumps with a brush, which is probably equal to 1 pump with my fingers. And it's quite nice, and I don't know, I think the color might be a hair too light for me. There's a lot of shine. I really do want to knock that back, but I didn't want to be as matte as I was yesterday. So I'm going to let this set up, do some eyeshadow, and I'll be back in a flash. Alright, I've done my eyes. I still have some shine, so I do want to powder just a little bit of this, because the shine in my forehead's just a little too much for me. So we still have a radiance, but it's not as very shiny. I'm going to go into the Chanel Ombre, which I thought was a limited edition, but I was on the Chanel site the other day and it says back ordered, will ship in 20 days. So I think you might be able to pre-purchase this. What's it called? Anyway, let's see how this works, and then I might do just a little bit of pink on the cheeks right here for a little life, because these kinds of colors, these blues, especially with this kind of weather, can be a little deadening. But I just want a little something. Just a little bit. Goes on no problem at all. But I'm going to go in with this color. This is a Sept palette that I made with 2 shadows and 1 blush, and I will name the blush in the description box. And I'm just doing this because it's not a bright pink, a spring pink. It's more like a fall-y kind of pink, even though it's winter. It goes on without a problem at all. Here's my final look. I will list everything below. I'm kind of doing the blue and the purple and, you know, embracing the cloudy weather. And I'm really happy with my look. Just going to run some errands today. And the foundation, I've been able to tamp down on that shine a lot with just a little bit, but it's still there. And if weather provides, I will come back and let you know what my thoughts are in about 4 hours. Let me tell you what my thoughts are on these products. This balm, well, I like the idea. For me personally, this is too heavy on my lips. But interestingly enough, I am wearing this, the Chanel Balm, that just came out in Natural Charm or something like that. And this is very comfortable. Let's just put some more of that on. But this feels like a soft balm. This doesn't feel buttery to me. It has quite a bit of stiffness, much like the By Terry, which I also never finished. The color is beautiful, of course. Chanel does good colors. I'll just add a little bit on to add some depth to this. And it works well on the cheeks. Let's just put a little bit on. And now I am wearing 3 blushes, but that's okay. I mean, the color is beautiful, for sure. And I like the way it looks on the lips over this one, so I don't feel that heaviness. I'm not a fan of this on my lips. I'm just not. But for the cheeks, it's fine. It's lovely. Again, the formula is very similar to this one from Charlotte Tilbury. So you have tried this, you kind of know what you're going to get. Now for the foundation, today I built up, as you saw, so I could get rid of a lot of my redness, and it built up beautifully. I found that the finish definitely depends on how you sit down. If you have something shiny on, you're going to get a lot of shine. I find if you powder this somewhat generously, it gets matte and it stays matte. And I know there are so many women who have texture, who have enlarged pores, don't like a shiny finish because it emphasizes that. This might be a foundation, even though it says it's a, natural finish. This might be a foundation that you would want to consider because it's really adaptable. The other foundations I have that have a glowy finish, I put a lot of powder on them and I really can't get them to mattify. This one can mattify, which is so very interesting. So I think that there is a versatility to this product that is different than other foundations that I own. The color is lovely. So the last foundation they did, it was very dark and orange. I was very surprised. And the foundation before that, I found when I washed my face at the end of the evening, it was really raw and red. And there was something in there that didn't work with me. I did not have that experience with this foundation. So no skin problems. It really looks pretty on the skin. It looks like skin. And it is buildable, as they said, as you saw, it really built up, and it didn't look cakey. It didn't look makeup-y. I think this is lovely on the skin. I think it is very, very comfortable. I think it's versatile. I think it builds well. It's checking a lot of boxes. The first day it was a bit dry, but today I'm feeling fine, and yesterday I felt comfortable. I wore a mask for plenty of the time. I wore for 12 hours and I saw makeup on my face when I washed it that night. It doesn't break up unevenly or any of that kind of stuff. So I think it's long wearing for me without calling itself long wear, which is very important to me because I am more and more finding when a foundation says it's long wear, there's something in it that irritates my skin a little bit. I think is very, very pretty. And, you know, it's up for you to decide, is this something that is interesting to you? But I think they really did a nice job with this foundation. The balm on the cheeks, fine. On the lips, for me personally, it does not feel comfortable. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope this was interesting to you and helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and wishing you good health.